Hello everybody. How you doing tonight? I hope the answer to that is incredible. So that sounds great. Let's just have a look and try and pull this up on my other device so that I can see who comes into the chat and if there are any questions. All right, so I'll just give that a moment to come through. As you can see, we're going to embellish this puddle pour painting that we did 3 or 4 videos back. And yeah, because we ended up with a lot of the dark areas. So I thought it would be really nice to embellish this. And right on stream, automatically went dots. Perhaps dots would be nice because it already has a lot of effects. And yeah, so I thought, why not? Let's see if this is ready now. Not yet. Gee, it's taking a long time to come through. Okay. There it is. Okay, so we're going to use the same color paints to dot with that are already in the painting. So they are the light green from Montmartre, and that had a bit of titanium white added to it to bring the color tone down a little. And this is the phthalo blue. So there's just a little bit of that down there. And this is the turquoise, but this is another one that had a little bit of change to it. So I added a drop of yellow ochre to it and some titanium white, I believe, just to shift the color just a little. And then this one was a purple that I made up from magenta, cerulean blue, a dash of black, and this is lamp black, to just get this nice shade. So there we go. Alrighty, let's see about getting you focused in here. Although to the left you should be able to see this is a tool set, so it's a pin punch set, and there are 8 pieces in this set, ranging from 10 millimeters round, so that's a really good chunk of a dot there, all the way down to, it says 2.4 millimeters, and it comes down to a much finer. So if I want to go any smaller than that, I have these here, which are nail set dotting tools or similar. I can't remember. It was a very long time ago that I got these, and I just searched them up on eBay. So check out eBay or Amazon or anything like that. Yeah, there is one missing. There is a green one missing, and I think that was my most often used one. So we'll see how we go. All right. Excellent. Let's get straight into it. So I've placed this onto a Lazy Susan or a Lazy Karen, and yeah, so just so that if I'm, instead of turning the piece or trying to reach over, I can rotate it as I'm embellishing in whichever area. So, because you don't want to embellish in this corner, say, and then try and reach over it to another area. So if I stick to, like, say, this area, then I can rotate it and do this area. So it will be safer, less chance of me putting my hand into the wet paint. So I don't think we'll start with the biggest, but I would think the 6.4 would be nice. So I'd like to bring the turquoise onto this side of the lime. I'm just going to dip straight from the bottle, the cup, I mean. So you can see it's on the end there. I'm just popping it down, starting in the center, so that I can work my way out nice and evenly. These tools are very heavy because they're not designed for, you know, delicate work. So I'm going to try and dot right next to the edge and have it drip down the side. So hopefully that works. Very nice. And I just did exactly what I said and did some in the corner, and now I want to go over here. So I'll do my best. I'll zoom through that. This is on the purple on this side. Going straight for that middle peak and working my way out. So where it's still a really wide band of colour, I think it would be nice to stay with the thicker dot tool. And maybe just one more in there. But this is where I would grab another tool. So just have some paper towel or something handy to clean off as you go. So let's see how much smaller. Probably come down to the 3.2. So that was the 6.4. So we're halving in size so that I can get down to this point and get into this finer section. So I'm going to overload it here. So when I put the dot down, it will be even bigger than 3.2. And you can see there that I didn't re-dip up until this point. So sometimes that's really handy that you can just continue on with the dots before having to break the momentum and re-dip. So there we go. I like to turn and consider the same thing for here. We'll start in the middle though. In through this one. So I think we won't start with the 6.4. We'll go straight down to the 4.8. This section seems a little narrower. Start in there. At least maybe one other dot here. Come over here. So as this narrows out, I'd like to change back to the smaller tool again, but here you should be able to just carry it on. Nice. So I feel like that's looking really effective already. So just go down to, what was that one? 4.8. I think we'll stick to the 3.2 that we used before. Some paint on, overloaded at this point. And can continue. I need paint, so I got about 5 dots out of that. And I think as we get to this section, just need to finish up with one of those nail ones. I think it just gets a little bit finer as it comes down off this edge. So overloaded, and add a few more dots, trailing off. Awesome. So I'll do the same down here. May just start with the 4 millimeter in here. Very good. Now move that to the finer one. So this is the 3.2. You can see how that is just bringing out some color, freshening it up, giving it a different appearance altogether. So having a look at the next section that I'd like to add some, be across this one. Actually, I think I'll just stick to around this bend. Oh, silly. Okay, so I will go back to the sorry, put it on the wrong side. So I try and keep the tools that I'm using readily accessible, but that time I seem to have placed it back in the group with the rest of them. Just dotting it through. So I might just start looking here at bringing it down to the smaller tool. So bring it down to the, not that one, the 3.2. It's good to remember which sizes you generally go between. So slowly working the way down. Looks like we need to just dip a little there. Now pop over to the other side and finish this off. So if you overload it here, you'll get a big drop. And then it'll work its way smaller. Okay, so that looks pretty cool. I think I'll go in with a bit of the lime now and add in some dots. So before I get into the second colour, let me say welcome to Tracey Creating. I am Tracey, and throughout this video, may you be inspired, learn something new, or simply relax while you're watching. I just wanted to have a look at the areas that I would want to brighten up with some of the lime. So I'm thinking on this edge here. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Although that has lime there, so here, yes. Okay, so I'm pretty much going to stick with the same colours. So I will just, so this is 6.4. So I'm aiming this one to be kind of in that little hazy bit of turquoise that comes where it meets with the black. There we go. So as we get closer to the edge, it's ideal if they get a little smaller. So after this few, I may just, this one doesn't get smaller, it actually spreads out more. So that, get that side finished. And then just to come down on this edge, you can see as the turquoise was wider here, which is where I focused the bigger dot, and then it narrows out down here, which is why I think it's nice to change up the 3.2, the size, and finish off down the line. There we go. Let's see that on this side we have a huge big row, so it's only once again towards those end areas where it gets that little bit thinner, so to consider dropping down the dot size at those points. So for those of you that already do pouring, so or fluid art, have you ever embellished using a dotting technique? I'd love to hear about it. And pop that in the comments below the video if you're watching the replay, or even if you're here in chat. Pop in, say hi, let me know if you've done a technique like this before. I'm just going to switch to the 4mm for this final spot over here because it was right on that edge, and although it didn't change a lot in width, it really needed to be changed. So I think I'd like to, oh no, this is 3 areas, wasn't it? So following this fine line, so I might go down and start with the 4.8 because we're heading over here. I overloaded, so it seemed like a larger dot, and yet using the same tool. So this one will need a couple of changes as we go along. Because the line gets very thin and narrow. So we'll jump straight down to the 3.2 for some dots. Touch up that one. And go straight down to the dotting tool. Excellent. So in here, we just make sure that my live chat is up and running correctly. Yep. Okay, so yeah, if you've watching along, I hope that you are either relaxing, finding inspiration, or learning something new. So that went so fine. So this one I'm going to fade out in that area. So that's the 3 areas of the line. Let's have a look. Okay. I think we'll have a look at adding in some of the purple. In just a few areas, like smaller areas. So this is the 4mm. And potentially just add in over the top of the turquoise. That's the area that drew me in. So also, what I haven't mentioned yet is that these paints are still in the exact same consistency that I would have them in for pouring. So I haven't altered them. I haven't mixed new ones. I do like my pouring consistency for dotting. So when I've previously done it, they've all been paints that are mixed at this same consistency as well. Yeah, that one. There we go. There we go. I feel like they just needed a little bit of upsizing for that area. Oh no, I was going this way. So over here, I will go down to the white dotting tool. They each have different size balls on them, which is why. And just going into, I won't go into that one actually. I'll just go here. Because this is a very narrow area. So I didn't want to try and overload it too much. There we go. And yeah, I'm happy with that. We'll put a big I don't want to interfere with this middle section. I'd really just like to keep that the same. But I would like to put the blue just on the outside of this one. So around here and perhaps inside there. And then we're done. So please let me know. What did I just say? In there and in there. So let me know if you've enjoyed this video. It's more about after the pour. You don't have to just leave it after it's done. You can add to it in so many ways, like dotting is one, shading another, using silhouettes. They look pretty effective. I've got a couple of ideas I'd like to try coming up. So yeah. There we go, and down the other side. So the blue dried really dark, but I'm still hoping that with the contrast of the complete black with the blue on top, that it will still make enough of an impact. I want to add some in here. I know I added an extra bit, but I think it would be amazing on that lime in that space. Yeah. Okay, so we'll just move over to here where I think it was just inside here I was thinking of. And that's nice. It gives it like 3 areas of dots in the same color. I'll just go to about there, and then I'll need to change to a smaller tool. So we're almost done. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this, please subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to hit that notifications bell. Give the video a thumbs up and share it with others who may also appreciate it. It really does help, and yeah, I'd be so grateful. So just go to the white dotting tool now for this last section, slightly larger and then slightly smaller. and then just on that edge. All right. So there we go. I think that's definitely changed it up, given it a new overall appearance. I was wiping the tools off on the back of my hand, and so between each colour I just wipe it off, so it just makes for like having a quick and easy wipe off location. Yeah, so there we go. I'll bring you down, we'll have a close up, and then we'll sign off. So thanks so much for coming in to watch the video. I really appreciate it. And so we'll have tomorrow night's live, and then I'll go to the new what do you call it? Not program, but new plan for when I do lives after that, which I'll announce. Here we go. Some of those dots. You can see some of them within the colours, some of them outside following the lines of the colours. So that looks pretty cool. I'm really happy with that. They made enough of an impact without going overboard. So there we go. All right. I do love this little section. That's a good spot to leave it there. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And until my next video, take care. It is important because you are important. So, yeah. Till then, be kind, be creative, and be fabulous. Bye.